What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and we just got our best look yet at the brand new upcoming hero for Overwatch Season 3. Just moments ago, Blizzard put up the premiere for Hero 52's hero trailer, which will be premiering on June 9th, which is this coming Tuesday. And the thumbnail for said premiere gives us a pretty fancy piece of artwork featuring the new Neon Junction map, along with a big shadowed but still fairly well detailed image of the new hero. And there is a lot to break down from this image. So let's go ahead and jump right on in, breaking down everything we can discern from this detailed image. So looking close here at the image, there's a lot to take away. First and foremost, the thing that sticks out is the guns. They are indeed dual wielding, the handguns, which are quite large and do pretty closely resemble the handgun that we'd seen visible on the Neon Junction map, though it's not identical, but very similar looking. Additionally, if we compare the original silhouette image of this character, we can see that there's actually a notable difference, being the seeming absence of the little bayonet blades from the underside of them. In the silhouette here, we can clearly see what looks to be a little sort of angled blade sticking out just slightly past the muzzle here. But then in the new silhouette image, it's a bit different. It looks like there is still some type of mechanism underneath the barrel of the weapon itself, but it doesn't extend quite as far. So either the design has been changed such that there are no bayonets, or the blades themselves perhaps retract in and out of whatever this mechanism is. Maybe the blade is even an energy blade of some kind, and we'll see it in action when she actually uses whatever ability might be tied to that. Additionally, looking at the character herself, she does indeed appear to be either an Omnic or perhaps even some kind of cyborg. This is very easily discernible from her hands, which now that we get a bit more detail specifically of the knuckles on this hand here and the wrist here, do not look to be natural human hands. Additionally, we can see a bit of her exposed shoulder here, which definitely has a metallic look to it, very reminiscent of the shoulders of Omnics. And of course, even the little visible slivers of her face do look to be gray and probably made out of metal, though they do retain a very human anatomy. Unlike Omnics, she very clearly has a visible ear, as well as a very human-looking eye with even eyelashes and an eyebrow above it, making her look much more akin to Kiriko's cyberpunk skin from all the way back in the very first season of Overwatch 2, as opposed to the more typical design of Omnics. Now, because of that, I'm more inclined to say that this is indeed a cyborg character rather than a straight-up Omnic, but it wouldn't be impossible for it to be an Omnic that just happens to have a more human design. I wouldn't rule that out as a possibility entirely, but I think it's far more likely now that we're looking at, indeed, a human that has become a cyborg. Additionally, some interesting details. We can see the hair looks to be a sort of two-toned pink and blue, made up of these sort of like cyber ribbons coming down. Again, almost similar to Ramatra's hair in a way, but definitely not looking like a natural head of hair. Again, likely tying into them being a cyborg robot of some kind. And the horns is another interesting detail as well, as the ones visible in this new image we got today look to be much smaller than those from the original silhouette of the character. The original ones were far more pronounced and looked to be more so coming out of her forehead, akin more to the Oni masks worn by other Hashimoto members, whereas these ones here on the new image look to be more properly embedded into the top of her head, again, likely due to her being some kind of cyborg. Aside from the new hero, though, we also have some other little details to note. As I mentioned, this does look to be set in the new Neon Junction Tokyo map, which will be releasing in the same season as the new hero, Season 3. And then if we look around the map itself, we of course have a big image of Hanzo in the bottom left, with Kiriko and Mizuki behind him. But if we look around at the different rooftops, we can see a number of other Hashimoto goons just sort of hanging out more or less. I don't think there's anything too notable to take from these characters in particular. They look to be pretty just standard run-of-the-mill Hashimoto members. Although if we do zoom in down here, right behind the big Overwatch new hero trailer title, we do see one of the Hashimoto members who looks to be facing off against someone with a sword. Now, it is worth noting that Genji is absent from the collection of Japanese heroes we see in the bottom left, and Genji is fairly well known for wielding a sword. So are we looking at this particular member facing off against Genji? Because the character we see standing holding the blade is largely obscured by the text. So it's pretty hard to tell what exactly is going on down there. And also, if we actually pay attention to the current story, well, Genji is in captivity at the hands of the Hashimoto, which was my initial thought for why he wasn't included in this image, which would make sense. But then, who is the sword wielder we see down here? A curious detail, don't know if there's much to make of it, but it is interestingly the only random Hashimoto member we see in this image who looks to be actually facing off against someone or something, as opposed to just hanging out on a rooftop. And that seems to cover everything new to look at in the thumbnail for the upcoming hero trailer. Initially, I'd kind of wondered if there was going to be something for the new hero or the new season in general revealed at the upcoming Summer Game Fest, which is going to be happening this weekend and has the big showcase on Friday, which also I'll mention I will be streaming the Summer Game Fest if you're interested in tuning in. I do it every year. It's a really fun time hanging out with me and my buddy Astro. Feel free to swing by. But either way, I had thought maybe there'd be something given its general proximity to the upcoming new season. Maybe Summer Game Fest would be the new hero reveal. But at this point, given that we know the official trailer is going to be dropping on Tuesday, several days after the Summer Game Fest, I'm really not expecting any Summer Game Fest stuff for Overwatch at this point. I'd wager that Blizzard is just sort of holding off on anything Season 3 related until after the hype of this coming weekend, probably so they're just not competing with all the other game announcements that are going to be dropping. But at least we do have confirmation that we will be getting more info on Tuesday. So be sure to tune in. I'm sure it'll be an exciting reveal one way or another, and I will, of course, be doing a new video covering the new hero once we have more information on her. I, for one, am very excited to learn more. I'm very hyped for this new season. The map alone, I think, is a really exciting new content addition coming, and the hero, of course, will be interesting one way or another. I've already done a number of videos in the past talking about both of them at this point. Feel free to check any of those out if you haven't already, as well as my overall video covering what we can expect content-wise for Season 3. And on that note, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. Are there any other details you picked up from the character we see here? Any little details I missed, or your own theories or speculation about details that I may not have covered? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and as always, be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any future Overwatch 2 news, streams, and other updates. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.